Thank you for tuning in to the broadcast, folks. It's been a long night since we last talked. It's been a long ass day. I didn't get much rest last night. For those of y'all follow me on Facebook, you may or may not saw the attacks on a post I made the other night concerning the Democrats trying to impeach Trump. I don't know if all of y'all know that they're trying to impeach him, but yeah, they are. And so I was called out and told that I have a reading problem and I shouldn't make fun of people or call them retarded. That's what it was. I shouldn't call people retarded and not be able to read good myself. So I let them have it and decided that people like that are not even worth your worry. They're not your friends to begin with, or they wouldn't do such a thing. What happened was there's this girl who just happens to have the same last name as me. You know, I'm probably a little bit of kin to her, but not much at all. It's a different set of Morgans, but however, according to a local historian, all the Morgans came from somebody who settled here in the late 17 to early 1800s, who a local lawyer around here is named after. John Hunt Morgan was his name. He said that he had two sisters. He had two sets of sisters. He had four women. One set of sisters were Sizemores. And I'm trying to remember the other set. Sitting here trying to think. But anyways, he had children with all four of those women, and that's got a lot to do with how the Morgans are kin to everybody around here. This is a small, tight-knit community. It's got a lot of rural area, a lot of mountainous terrain. Fix my microphone. But yeah, I live in Leslie County, Kentucky, for those of y'all who don't know. Believe it or not, I just learned last night that our broadcast has been heard as far away as France, China, Germany, Australia, I think, Italy. It's really an honor. I mean, it's a really small percentage of my audience. But listen, I want to make something clear to y'all. I don't want to change nobody's minds about nothing. I'm doing this to meet like-minded people who think the way I do, people who believe in a lot of the same beliefs that I believe in. I don't want to change nobody's opinion. At the very least, maybe reach these young people that might not be paying attention to what's going on right now, or maybe caught up in school and their little life that they got going, and really don't pay a lot of attention to politics. Maybe uh, me or you or somebody else might get through to them, and because there's still hope for them and there's still hope for us folks. But we really got to come together. I mean, if you could make signs just um, talking about what's going on and tell people about fluoride and chemtrails and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of into the whole conspiracy theory deal, but I mean, not to the extent that I believe the Earth is flat or anything like that, but you never know. I mean, I guess stranger things have happened, but you know, um, but yeah, I had a late night last night. I posted on Facebook, showing like different congressmen and senators who were talking about impeaching our president for sharing classified information with foreign government officials. Uh, when it's something that was to do with ISIS putting bombs in laptops and sneaking them onto airplanes. I mean, come on, y'all. I was just trying to point out the ignorance and childishness of the left. How they've done nothing but discredit us, discredit our president, just try to make us look stupid all the time, and it's attack, attack, attack. They never defend. That's something that you gotta watch out from the left. They always attack you, but when you attack them back, you never hear them defend themselves. You talk about a total effing hypocrite. I mean, really. Um, you'd think that people would at least take up for themselves, and you attacking them. Had an accident there with a tobacco product. Excuse me, but yeah, man, it's just crazy what fuck people's got on their minds. So excuse me, I'm trying to watch my mouth tonight, but I try not to get too upset because one thing, I don't like getting upset, folks. When I get bad energy in me and like all the adrenaline wears off and stuff, like I feel so bad. I hurt all over. I ache to the bone. It's just I don't like fighting. I'm not looking for trouble. Um, I just wonder why that people like us can't coexist with the left, because even though I don't believe the same things as other people, this is the United States of America. We have more freedom than anybody. You're allowed to believe what you want to believe. If you want to worship Lucifer, if you want to worship some of these old Babylon gods, you're welcome. You're welcome to do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting nobody else or yourself. That's one of the great things about our country. But it's funny how the left wants to bend our legislation and our constitution and just our beliefs and our culture to their ways. They're always trying to bend the law. But you can just bend things so much and it ends up breaking. I mean, you take Hillary Clinton, for example. Her and Bill both are law students. I think they both went to Yale, if I'm not mistaken. They went to one of those Ivy League colleges. I know that much. Um, Possibly Harvard. It was one of the two. Funny thing that um, the mother of a prostitute who grew up in a small, very small shack could end up going to one of the most prestigious law schools, not only in America but the world. Um, that's a whole nother conspiracy theory on its own, and I encourage those of you who like to research this stuff to really take a look at that because that is beyond me. Okay, but anyway, I digress. I'm gutted. It's been a long day. Um, nobody nobody knows what everybody else goes through, and I try to have just as much compassion for others and show everybody the utmost respect that I possibly can because I expect the same. And like when we were all growing up, like there was this cartoon called Bambi, and there's this character in the film. His name is Thumper, and his mother taught him something during that movie that should really stick with everybody. Like, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the film, like she said, "What are you doing, Thumper?" And he said, "Her patting his foot, out of hell." He said, "I'm thumping, Mama. That's why they call me Thumper." And well, whatever. But anyways, in the end, she tells him, or she says, "You remember what I said, don't you, Thumper?" "Yes, Mama. I always treat others the way that you would want to be treated. Do unto others as they would do unto you." I think the that's the analogy. But anyways, it has been a long night. It sucks getting called out and or pointed out, or publicly insulted. That's really embarrassing. Um, I, all I try to do is like share information with my friends on Facebook, or like that's how I started out. Um, Folks, if we don't get more people like us into office, this movement's not going to go anywhere. Regardless if Trump is reelected or not, we need one of us in office at all times. Drudge just changed his page. Matter of fact, his top headline right now says Justice names special counsel. Folks, the shadow government, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, it's attacking on every level right now, more than ever. They want to impeach Trump. They want to get rid of Trump. They want to discredit Trump in every way possible. And I mean, I want to stop it now, but before that, something bad happens, because in my opinion, if they do overthrow Trump in any way, um, the majority of Americans will freak the blank out and like riot, and it'll probably be another American Revolution. I mean, for real, it will. There ain't nothing else is more there ain't nothing would start it like that would, I don't think. I mean, because we just now got people waking up to these foreign policies to where we give all these other countries stuff that and we don't get shit in return. I mean, yeah. And as far left as our foreign policies and our legislation has went in the past 30 or 40 years, and it's just now starting to go in our favor. Um, Whether they overthrow Trump, whether they assassinate Trump, um, he becomes a martyr in either way, and I believe that they start a war. The Drudge Report is freaking out right now. He just went back to a different one, said something about Comey, and now it's Comey kept notes on phone calls. I'd say he did. I'd say Comey has got his version of everything. That the one says Robert Mueller was appointed special counsel. Now this is an article I've not read, but it's up there. It's by CBS News. I'm not going to read it right now, I don't think, but it says that Robert Mueller was appointed. I want to get this right. I don't appointed special counsel. I don't know exactly what you need to know about appointing a special prosecutor to investigate Trump. The letter announcing the appointment that reads that Mueller is authorized to investigate, quote, any links and or coordination between Russian government and individuals associated with the campaign of President Donald Trump and any matters that arose or may arise directly from the investigation, end quote. Says the White House issued a short statement Wednesday night saying the investigation by a special counsel appointed to investigate President Trump's administration and Russian meddling with the 2016 election will, quote, confirm when we already know, end quote. Confirm what we already know, end quote. I'm sorry. I get a little tongue tied now. Fuck what people thinks, man. I don't care. If people, man, they got the the right to not listen to what I say, to not read what I say. They even got the right to block me if they want to. But again, I digress. Back to the task at hand. The appointment comes as numerous Democratic lawmakers have called for a special counsel known as a special prosecutor. Such calls increased in recent days after Mr. Trump fired FBI Director James Comey. On Tuesday, it was revealed the Comey had written a memo alleging that Mr. Trump had asked him to back off the investigation. Former National Secretary Advisor Michael Flynn. The memo alleges that the president said in a private conversation with Comey at the White House, quote, I hope you can see your way clear to letting this go, to letting Flynn go. He's a good guy. I hope you can let this go. End quote. It also goes on to say that Democrats on Capitol Hill are embracing this as a victory, and many of them, along with a small number of Republicans, have been calling for a special prosecutor. Senator Dianne Feinstein, Democrat from California, said in a statement that Mueller's appointment is, quote, a good first step, end quote, and said that, quote, there's no better person who could be asked to perform this function. He's represented, he's respected, he is talented, and he has the knowledge and the ability to do the right thing, end quote. Folks, do you not see how damn ridiculous that this is? That those people right there, they go to work every day, and do you think they get any business done? What do we pay them all this tax money for? To sit there and keep Trump from pushing our agenda forward, to build a wall on the southern border and have Mexico pay for it, to drain the swamp, to what else? What else do we vote him in for? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. I mean, if I were one of them, I would work every day to make this world a better place. Folks, we put up with Obama for 8 years. We put up with George W. Bush for 8 years. We put up with President Bill Clinton for 8 years. And we put up with President H.W. Bush for 4 years. And that's just in my lifetime. You know, not to mention prior presidents to him, such as Ronald Reagan, which I don't remember a whole lot about because I was pretty young at the time, but I mean, think about it. We lived through all of that, and they can't live through. Has it been 120 days? 120 days of Trump. Is this gonna continue from now on? The traditional Democratic Party should it should implode from just Democrats everywhere that's sitting and watching this stuff take place, and just evolve from day to day to something other crazy that's out of this world, that's something you couldn't dream up. I mean, at least when they tried to impeach Bill Clinton for one sexual act out of in amount of sexual encounters. I heard that the Secret Service would like watch for him and crow, and like Hillary would come around and she'd go, ah, ah. I mean, good God, man, that's pitiful. They can't live through 4 years of Trump. They can't live through 120 days of Trump. They have made excuses ever since he announced his intent to run for president. I mean, a blind man could see what's going on here, folks. They really could. It don't take a genius to figure it out. Look at Seth Rich. He saw what was going on in the Democratic Party. He probably been a Democrat for years and saw what was going on and couldn't take it because of his morals and his loyalty to Americans and to his family, to his friends, to our future as humanity. Um, there's no race in the human race, just the human race, if you ask me. Um, it's really appalling to think about. It really is. How could how could this go on? I'm seeing an article up at the top of Drudge that's saying conservatives begin to whisper President Pence. With Trump swamped by self-inflicted scandals, Republicans find silence in the man waiting in the wings. Not since the release of the Access Hollywood tape in which Donald Trump bragged about groping women by the genitals have conservatives thought so seriously of a bit wistful about two records, Mr. Pence. The scandals clouding Trump's presidency, including most recently his firing of FBI Director James Comey, his alleged leak of classified information to Russian officials, and reports that he urged Comey to drop an investigation into a top aide, have raised once more the possibility that Trump could be pushed aside and replaced by Vice President Mike Pence. Quote, what if the New York Times reported is true? Pence is probably rehearsing, end quote. One House Republican who asked not to be named quipped Wednesday, quote, it's just like Nixon from the standpoint that it's never the underlying issue, it's always the cover up, end quote. Folks, there's nothing to cover up. Okay, that's coming from me. I'm not reading this. And there's nothing to cover up. Uh, the damn election was hacked by WikiLeaks. Okay, who do you think released that on their website? And they're not Russian operatives either. Actually, Putin just made a speech talking about how ridiculous all this was. Folks, the Russians are sitting over there laughing at our great leaders who are acting like a bunch of grade school children, pointing their fingers at the people that don't believe the same things they do, or lean a little bit more to the right than they do to the left, or yeah. Um, you think if they can get any legislation done, it's a wonder that they did get a health bill passed, if you ask me. It really is. It's just covering the rest of this article here. I was wanting to play this phone's dead. Wouldn't you know it? It's been a crazy day. I wanted to play this interview I got from Tony Shaffer, who was on Lou Dobbs, talking about the deep state and how Americans need to wake up to this. It's wonders that the deep state allows people to go on Lou Dobbs and say such stuff. It really is, but I don't guess they can stop it, you know. Excuse me, all my phone's coming out. I thought I had it plugged up. I'm hoping that my live feed will hold up battery power wise through this whole first segment. I just realized that I don't have it plugged up, so but maybe it will. Hopefully. Give it time here to connect to the Wi-Fi. Shouldn't take just a minute. There it is. In just a second, folks. But yeah, this stuff is really, really ridiculous when you think about it. Whether, no matter which side that you find yourself on, folks, you would think even if you did consider yourself a liberal, you would see that the leaders who also call themselves liberals are crazy, okay? Like I said last night, people like us, myself, people who listen to this podcast, this show, they don't want to be in power, or they would be in power. It's only people that want to be in power that are in power, or else they wouldn't be in power. Remember that. Okay, folks, this is...
That conveys a one-person view of what happened in a conversation with at least one other person, the president. What do you make of this?
Well, further than that, Lou, let me read to you the article from MSNBC saying, neither NBC News nor The Times has seen the actual memo. Think about that. They're reporting that someone whispered to them about a memo that may or may not exist in somebody's file at the FBI. This is truly deep state, and you have collusion. I mean, this passes for reporting. This is beyond insane. And Lou, what you said here, walking up to it, I think illustrates clearly what the issue is regarding the president. The president did actually ask Mr. Comey to do something. And that thing he asked him to do was do your job, investigate the leaks. And instead of doing that and being asked by Trey Gowdy the same thing, expressing no interest at all in actually doing his job to investigate leaks, which, by the way, did compromise techniques and procedures of how we do collection. It was an arrogance about him that said, basically, I can pick and choose what I want to do. So this is another example of that, where you have people, and by the way, Lou, just between you and me, if you had something to say about someone, I don't think you'd be trying to go through your staff to say it. I think if you felt a certain way, you would tell that person. Why do we believe that James Comey would want this leaked out. I think that this is something being done by those in the deep state to upset everything that's going on, and like you said, try to undermine the president in every breath.
You know, and there is within this, I've been very critical of the White House communications team, and I think fairly and appropriately. I have to say that the White House is sitting there. That communications team has barely raised its head, let alone its voice collectively, to defend the president, to defend. I mean, I don't understand what they're doing for this president right now. Do you?
No, I don't. And this is where I think the criticism is apt by the fact that, first off, yesterday, I don't know what they were doing regarding the messaging regarding H.R. McMaster and that whole thing. And let's be clear on this. The president, for better or for worse, is the ultimate classification or declassification authority. He can talk to anybody about anything, no matter what the level is. And beyond that, I understand that things were instantly twisted by the National Security Council staff and leaked, obviously, to the Post. And there was a very delayed, very muted response where they should have been right up there outlining the facts right up front about how this is completely false. So I think they, like you point out, the White House communication staff has to believe they are now in a state of war. This is war. It's called information operations, information warfare, and clearly the other side, the deep state, and the Clinton folks, and I have to say some folks on the Republican side are all lining up. The battle lines are drawn, and it's time for people to understand how to deal with this as if like it's
war.
A war.
Yeah. And that's why I made reference to the war room.
Right.
This president famously called Jeb Bush low energy. With that, branded a person who so effectively. But the fact is, this is a low energy communications department, and it needs to be as.
There's a bad lag on my end. I apologize for that. But
if you are looking for
I wanna tell y'all about what the deep state is, in case y'all don't know. For those of y'all who don't know what the deep state is, I'm gonna try and explain it to you. I'm on Wikipedia. I just searched for the deep state, and this Wikipedia page popped up. There was another one too, but it said something about the Turkish government, Turkey or something. I forget. We may or may not look at it later. We've actually almost reached our time frame. We have about 6 minutes left. Let me read this. The deep state in the United States. The concept of a deep state is that there exists a coordinated effort by career government employees and others to influence state policy without regard to democratically elected leadership. The term, which was originally used to refer to sophisticated shadow governments in countries like Turkey and the post-Soviet Russia, has also been used in the U.S. political science to refer to entrenched government institutions wielding power without necessarily implying a conspiracy. Detractors claim that this idea is a, quote, conspiracy theory. The term was used in numerous titles about the American government written by, for example, Mark Ambinder, David W. Brown, Peter Dale Scott, and Mike Lofgren. The term gained widespread popularity during the 2016 U.S. presidential election in opposition to mainstream Republican and Democrat candidates, and has also been used in 2017 during the Trump administration. Yeah, somebody has already updated this Wikipedia stuff, man, to talk about impeaching Donald Trump. I mean, really, man, think about that. That's okay. This is a crazy time we're living in. Let me look over. But yeah, there's a lot to. It's pretty much like in case like the Earth's ever hit by an asteroid and all our government officials in DC are killed, or like we're ever attacked by nuclear means by a foreign entity and they're all killed. Should this horrible, horrendous tragedy ever take place, they have in place a secret part of the government which will take over unelectedly. Yeah, this may come as a shock to a lot of you, but this has been around since like the late 50s, early 60s during the Cold War era, which was probably a bunch of BS propaganda, uh, you know, for many means, I would think. But that's just my opinion. That's a whole nother subject. But yeah, we may cover that someday. If y'all want to call, the number's 276-243-1548. We are live here on the Alex Morgan Show. We have about 2.5 minutes left. I may have to do another 45-minute episode tonight. Folks, I need all the support I can get. I know I realize I did manage to get some lighting for those of you who actually end up viewing the show tonight on my live stream. I haven't checked to see if we have any viewers right now, but yeah, hopefully we will. Hopefully we're really recording tonight. I hope. like the first segment of our show last night. I did manage to check the camera this time, and I went through a little trouble to get some lighting in here, and yeah, I like production and direction sometimes, and a camera crew and all that, but folks, that just shows you my heart and my willingness to stand up for what I believe in. Sometimes we've all got to do it, or lay down and be dominated by someone else's beliefs and the way they want you to live your life, or just folks, people will run over you if you let them. I don't want to be ran over. I'm not going to be ran over by nobody. Yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this episode tonight. More than likely, I'll probably do another live stream tonight, but if not tonight, definitely tomorrow. I may do another audio tonight. I don't know. I'll see how things goes, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Be safe. Be good, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.